Welcome to the Richfeet Podcast with Dr. Tanisha Richmond. This podcast is sponsored by the Richmond Foot and Ankle Clinic, where they specialize in happy feet. Each episode highlights the best of Dr. Richmond's radio show, providing bite-sized clips of advice. Let's jump right into the show.
You're listening to the real rhythm of the city, AM 1210 and FM 102.3. It's a beautiful day on Saturday today, and of course, we are excited because it is the fourth Saturday of the month. Can you believe that?
Yes.
It's the fourth Saturday of the month, and we're excited because on the fourth Saturday, and today is the 28th, we have our local podiatrist and foot specialist, Dr. Tanisha Richmond. How are you, Doc?
I am blessed and highly favored and alive.
And alive as well.
Alive and well.
She is alive and well. And listen, we are excited that you are here with us today. And what's exciting is you always come with a plethora of hot topics and discussions for us here on WDAO to have the listening audience to engage and to enlighten, to inform them and educate them. And so we are always excited when you come here with us, Doc. So let's start off with what have you been doing the past 30 days since we saw you last?
Well, I got my life insurance license back. I got it back in 2014. Didn't do anything with it. Let it lapse. And my brother actually is in a company, and I was talking to him about my retirement. I'm turning 49 this year. So I'm looking more into retirement, planning my retirement, planning my exit strategy. So I rejoined the company, got my life first, and next will be my Series 6 and SIE exam so I can do investments and work on my own investments and help people in the community work on investments and stocks and life insurance. You know, as an African American, unless you are like filthy rich, they really don't talk to us about investments. They don't talk to us about stocks and bonds. And they don't educate us on that thing. Even though I'm a physician, they just walk in with a couple pamphlets, throw some paper at me, don't really explain anything. I have a couple investments, some 401ks, annuities and things, but prior to me starting to study again and study to get my securities license, I really didn't have a true understanding of the stock market. And it's something that I always had an interest in. So now with the study tools they have available and the wonderful place of YouTube as well, being able to watch videos over and over and get a lot of the concepts and understanding and the knowledge, I hope to pass my exams, be able to work and help people, as well as work and help myself. I have no children, so I have to plan to take care of myself until the day I die. Because I'm not planning or expecting my nieces and nephews to take care of me.
And hats off to you, Doc. You are always finding new ways, innovative ways to add to all the many things that you do in life. And you are officially a state licensed life insurance agent.
Well, I'm in the process, so I should have it probably within the next week because
Okay.
you have to wait on your fingerprints and things to come back. I have passed the state exam, so I'm just being processed. So I got 85, so I'm proud of that.
That's passing.
Oh, yeah, you only had to have a 70 to pass.
Nice. Congratulations. This card here tells us that some of the services that are offered through the life insurance agency is prepaid legal, long-term care, Equifax credit monitoring, auto insurance, interesting, home insurance, debt watchers, fixed index annuities, life insurance, and more. So of those, what would you say is the number one thing, and I know we should have them all, but what is the number one thing that is missing in most people's lives?
Life insurance.
Life insurance. And so we had a discussion with a group of individuals, and it came down to everyone finding this out basically when it's time to unfortunately bury someone.
Yes.
And we hear this from funeral homes all the time to enlighten us, to have people to start something.
Some sort of policy. I mentioned it before, we own funeral homes in Louisiana. So I've grown up in the funeral home business. And we're always, talking about policies, and people don't have no money. They got to do a fish fry. They got to do a GoFundMe, car washes, whatever, fighting with the family to help pay to bury someone. And, of course you want to get a policy bigger than being only able to bury someone, but when you create life insurance, you create immediate estate. So as soon as that person passed, they may leave $100,000 policy. So they're leaving an estate for their family and, their children, husband, wives, or whatever, to leave them with something. And that money is free from creditors. I think it's tax-free money as well if it goes straight to the beneficiaries. And usually it's a small percentage, probably 50, 60 to 100 a month, depending on how much coverage you want. But it's something to invest in the future. And then we also are working, when I get more into my securities, then you're talking more about 401ks, IRAs, annuities. So like 401ks and IRAs would be something more you would do with your job. A lot of people don't understand that they should do a 401k or IRA. Like I offer one in my practice. And we, as an employer, we match, my percentage is like 20%. Whatever you put in, we match it as the employer. So you can get double your retirement. So if you want to put in 10% of your check every 2 weeks and you walk away in 10 years or 5 years or whatever, we're able to walk away with $10,000. And then you can just roll it into another IRA and 401k. Of course, if you pull it out early, you will have to pay penalties. But if you just do a direct transfer, you'll be able to keep all your funds and then pull it out at your retirement age. But what made me do this is because I have the tale of two parents. So my parents are divorced. My father's retired Air Force. He inherited the funeral homes too, and about 30 to 40 rentals. My mother, when she divorced my father, she liquidated all her retirements to survive during the divorce and issues. So now she's living off just her Social Security, which is inadequate. So she calls Mom, I am the new mother. I am the ATM. And yes, it's always let me borrow. I'm like, Mommy, you're not gonna pay me back. But I send her what I can. But I'm the oldest of four. So I get hit the most, of course, because I'm the physician in the family. But the point I see in this tale of two parents is if I want to be, I can either be in the situation of my father or the situation of my mother. And then I don't have the benefit of having children. So I know until the day I die, my goal is either to be in a really nice independent living facility with a spa and all that, the yoga studio and all that in-house, or pay to have a sitter until the day I die. So I have to plan for that. And I'm 48, so I'm aggressively planning. Being a physician and being a solo practitioner, I didn't have the benefit of saving. I was just surviving. I probably started working more and putting more up and paying me the last 5 years. But realistically, I should have been putting money up since my 20s. But I've been in college, medical school, grad school. So right. I couldn't invest. So now I have to aggressively put money up. So when I walk out that door, I'll have the income from whatever I may sell my practice for, but also have additional income, because we all know what inflation is. I don't know what the dollar may be worth 20, 30 years from now.
Nor do we know what Social Security will look like,
or if it will exist.
Or if it will be around during that time. Exactly.
But it'll probably be around, but it probably won't be enough.
It won't be enough to survive.
No, you'll be living off of tuna fish and potted meat. And I don't want to eat tuna fish and potted meat.
So you are planning for your future, and you are wanting and aspiring to help others to prepare and to plan for their future as well. So that is great news. And how can they get in touch with you?
Same way. They can call the office. Okay. Just give the office a call.
And let's give them that information.
So my office is 937-228-3668. You can now text that number directly, 937-228-3668. You can text it directly. We're on a new system where you can text back and forth. You can actually send messages to me through my Google page. If you Google Richmond Foot and Ankle, you can click on the Google page. It sends me message direct. You can text me through my web page, richfeet.org. And then if you're a patient, and you can text or send me messages through the patient portal. And if you're not on the patient portal, you can call the staff and they can get you the information to get you set up on the patient portal. And now also on the patient portal, you have the ability to schedule appointments yourself as well.
And so with the services that you're offering through the insurance agency, you also have a website.
Well, it's we're getting it up and running. I got to add all my pictures and things.
So this will be up, would you say,
probably next month. By the next month, I'll have it up. But right now, you can just look at my other website, richfeet.org. But if you have any questions, you can always call the office at 937-228-3668. And we're also offering assistance with Medicare patients that need assistance with picking healthcare plans, checking benefits, have a problem with their current plan, talking to someone to help them with that as well. So we're offering a lot of different options. I like to make it a one-stop shop. You know, especially where I'm located, a lot of my patients don't have access to cars and transportation. So I want to make it easy for them to be able to come there. They can be seen. They can do the spa. They can go to boutique. They can shop. Now they can get a life insurance policy, talk about their retirement plans. So I just want to give the community what they need, and that's something we really need. And then, of course, I'm also a board member now for Diabetes Dayton. So I'm an advocate, of course, diabetes prevention. So the board at the location, Diabetes Dayton, has the diabetic food pantry. We have diabetes education classes that are free to the community. I think they're starting up a support group for type 2 diabetics and pre-diabetics. And then in the summer months, we also have the 2-week, 1 week camp for type 1 diabetics, children. And I think they're going to try and get a type 2 diabetic camp or some kind of support group for type 2 children as well. So we're doing a lot in the community. Dayton, like most cities, just has a lot going on, and we just want to help.
That is great, Dr. Richmond. And also, before we get into the next hot topic, we want to let our listeners know that if you have a question or comment about any of the conversation today, or just want to ask something direct to Dr. Tanisha Richmond, she is our local podiatrist and foot specialist. You can give us a call, and the show is live at 937-457-1210. That's 937-457-1210. You can ask your question or give a comment. So, Dr. Richmond, what is our second item hot topic for today?
Well, I guess what everybody's been watching on TV. What happened in Memphis this past month. The greatest solution of all our problems, legislatively, state, federal, every level, is to vote. And to get people in office that care about our issues. And if you don't have someone in office, you run for office so you can be the voice. I don't have all the different sites, but there's groups that actually will help people who want to run for office, state, local, and federal level, to prepare them to get out there and be elected officials, because truly nothing will get done until we have more control on the federal level, the state level, and the government and the local levels of government to prevent these kind of things from happening. So once again, that goes back to education and knowledge. So just like I said, I wanted to learn more about the stock market, and luckily I have the time, the access, and the brain to understand all this information. And then I don't know if you remember, I think back in 2019, I went to the University of Dayton to get my MBA. So I already have started taking a lot of the courses and getting a background on business and stocks and investing. So when you go into anything new in life, you do need to be educated, and you need to be around people who can educate you, give you knowledge. And, that's one thing. I was just talking to my pastor. He just recently got diagnosed with diabetes, and he came in to be seen for another issue, but I gave him some lovely books, some gifts, two diabetic cookbooks. And I told him when I see him again, I want to discuss the recipe that he has cooked with his new cookbook. So, and then also I want to do some one-on-one education with them as well, teaching them how to eat and things like that. Because, I've been diabetic now 21 years myself. So, religion is important, but knowledge is even more important. Religious can give you the foundation, but you have to have the knowledge to understand, if you're who you're talking to, what you're talking to, so you can have an educated conversation. So it's a lot to learn, but like you said, now we have access to so much. We don't have to do the Dewey Decimal anymore. We just can Google it.
So we talked about gout, Dr. Richmond. How prevalent is that in the industry?
Not that much. I may see gout twice a month. So gout is a disease of how you break down protein in your body. So protein, we're talking about meats, organ meats, beer, alcohol. So they break down to something called purines, which in some people, the body can't flush it out. And they make little crystals, and our little white blood cells attack the crystals. And when that happens, we get a gout attack. The crystals like to hang out in our big toes. They like to hang out in our elbows, our knees, our distal joints, the most furthest joints from the center of the body. But they especially love the big toes for some reason. That's where they like to hang out.
And so what does it make the big toe feel like?
Red, hot, swollen, painful joint. Men describe it as pain as they've never experienced before in their life. Women, I think, is like having a baby kind of pain.
Is it stiff, more like arthritis?
No, it's just red, hot, tender, because what's happening, those white blood cells ingest the little crystals, and they release like massive histamine responses. So that's like a histamine, like redness, swelling. And then it's super painful, super tender to the touch. If people always say, oh, I think I got gout. If you get close to a person with gout, they won't let you touch them. They'll move because it's that painful. So when we suspect someone of having gout, we do blood work. We check what's called the uric acid, which is the byproduct of breaking down protein. And there's a range, I think it's like 3 to like 15. I think normal should be in the 6 to 7 range. If it's abnormal, we can put you on gout medication. So this medication can help keep your proteins down and then prevent a gout attack. A lot of my patients, we have a gout discussion. And I tell them, you know what gives you gout? It happens every Thanksgiving. When you eat all that turkey, you drinking beer, you doing whatever, and you have a gout attack the next day. And that's what I tell them. I said, think about what did you eat the day before you had this gout attack? And do you remember every time you eat fried chicken and have a thing of beer, you get a gout attack? So what do we need to do? We need to not have the fried chicken and the beer because you're going to have a gout attack. Or you need to have gout medication on board and ready for this gout attack to get you through this gout attack. And then also I give them the gout diet. So I give them a literature that explains all the different things that can give you gout flares. And a lot of patients will read this and be like, oh yeah, I like my steak. I had one gentleman, he got gout attacks from red wine. And he figured out every time he drank red wine, he would have a gout attack. And he came back in a month after he started his meds. He's like, I stopped drinking red wine. I don't have gout no more. I said, ain't that a blessing? Yes, stay away from your red wine. But if you drink red wine, what's going to happen the next day? But you got some gout medicine you can take to help you get through that gout episode. Some people have gout so bad, there are IV drugs now for gout. You have to go to a rheumatologist. Either the rheumatologist can give it to you, or have to go like to an infusion center and get the meds. But that's severe gout, people. But in general, I don't think I've ever had anyone as bad. Most of it's just maintenance. You just got to take your gout medicines. You got to be aware of what gives you flares and stay away from it. But it's just accepting I have gout, and if I eat this tomorrow, my foot's going to swell up.
We hear you speak of many patients and those that are looking to become patients. You say, you need to come see me. And that's usually in a crisis situation when something is really painful or hurting or happening. Let's talk a little bit real quick when they just come see you.
For which thing?
Just because I don't have a problem, but I'm coming to see you to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Well, I mean, most people come to see me like if they're like a new onset diabetic, or they're on dialysis, they're having heel pain, they got toenail fungus, they sprained their ankle. So most people come to me for acute things or new diagnosis things. So my thing is to educate them, to give them knowledge, to give them information, to work them up. Like, especially like my diabetics, you're going to get a full workup being a new onset diabetic. You know, we're going to get a foot exam. We're going to check your vascular status. Then if you come to me with a wound, that's a whole nother game. You know, we're checking your vascular status. We need to culture your wound. We may need to get x-rays of your foot to see if the wound has gone to the bone. You may need antibiotics. You're going to need wound supplies. You may need home health. So that's a whole nother gamut. And then you're diabetic. You're going to need diabetic shoes. So we got to work you up for that. So it's just depends on what you're coming in for. But the thing first is you have to come to see me so I can figure out what's wrong with you and treat it. You know, if you want to go to your friend Dr. Google, your cousin Bebe and Boo Boo, you're more than welcome. But if when all else fails, you can always call me or text me at 937-228-3668.
So we know, Dr. Richmond, that you love to read, and you're currently reading.
Well, the last book I read was Dating Dr. Dill, which is the love story with the Indian cardiologist and a lawyer. So she hasn't picked our next book, but currently I'm studying for my Series 6 and SIE exam. So that's my reading right now. But I do Audible, so all my books are on tape. Unless when I fly, I actually like to read a physical book because it doesn't require Wi-Fi. So I'll take a hardback when I fly. So I don't have to worry about earbuds and having Wi-Fi and things. And we're getting ready next month to go to Mardi Gras, which is the weekend of the 21st.
So that is your fourth Saturday. So we will definitely be moving that day.
Yeah, I will be in New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
We'll look at doing maybe the 18th. We'll discuss that week before.
Yeah.
So what else, Dr. Richmond? We know that you've talked about a few things this hour here. We've got another 11 or 12 minutes or so. So what else is on your hot topic list?
Well, we probably want to talk about ice and ice injuries. Actually, one of the ladies, we went to a Habitat yesterday in Troy. She broke her ankle on some ice. She's recovering at home. So this time of year, you know, they talked about me, but I was walking around in my snow boots for several days because I don't want to break my ankles.
Right.
So, you know, I think this time of year, you need to wear appropriate shoe gear. You need to be looking down a lot. You need to be prepping your own site. If you do rent and there's no salt, I would invest in some salt. You know, it's cheaper to put down a $5 bag of salt than recover from an ankle fracture. Because most people never truly recover from ankle fractures because it's usually so traumatic to the ankle, causing arthritis, long-term swelling, and other issues. I see people every year that are still recovering from ankle fractures that happened one winter. They slipped on ice and broke their ankles or broke other body parts. So this is the time of year to be wearing appropriate shoe gear. Even though we are Northerners, we don't need to be soldiers and cute. Put on your snow boots. Put something.
So you're saying, Dr. Richmond, hold on 1 second. Are you telling me that they have to take off the cute boots?
No, I mean, you need to be wearing appropriate shoe gear, something with a good skin on it. If you hit some ice, it can grab it, and you're not going down breaking your ankle. Because you break your ankle, you're going to the ER. You're having major surgery. You're getting hardware put in your ankle. You could get a frame, those big frames that go around your ankle. You could be down for 6 months to a year recovery time from an ankle fracture. And then depending on your age, you could be down even longer. And then depending on if you're a diabetic smoker or other health problem, you can be down even longer. So, just putting on them ugly, heavy-duty snow boots will protect you. And then looking down when you're walking. If you walk and look down, because we know with black ice and all the different things, snow, all the different things that in this climate can take you out. And then, of course, this time of year, lotion. Just lotion. Just lotion.
You said that, Dr. Richmond, with passion.
Just lotion.
Tell me why you're saying that. Are you seeing something that needs lotion?
I see a whole bunch of ash every day. Ashiness, just foolishness.
What do you
just
call that, Dr. Richmond?
Ashiness, just ash.
So you're suggesting that
lotion.
That everyone go out to invest in some lotion.
You can start with the cheapest lotion you can find. You can use Vaseline. Whatever you got, put it on your feet. Just don't put it between your toes, because when you close your toes off, it stays wet and it can get fungal infections. But let's just start with basic lotion. If the lotion is not working and you're still dry, you may have other health issues, like it could be fungus, it could be venous stasis, it could be other issues, eczema, psoriasis. But first, just start off with some lotion once a day. And then, of course, if that's not working, that's when you need to call me. And I need to take a look and see if it's something else that could be causing this as well. So we're talking about lotion this time of year because we're drying out from all the heat in our houses. So we have low humidity in our houses, so we dry out this time of year. Of course, Dayton is a manufacturing city, so we're getting we always have heel pain. We always have Achilles tendonitis because you're standing a lot. Swelling because you're standing a lot. So a lot of different issues in the lower extremity just from the type of work that we do here in the city of Dayton. But the main issue is you can try your home remedies. You can Google. You can talk to your cousins and them. But if that does not work, then you need to call the office or text me at 937-228-3668. And we can talk about your options. Everything that does not involve a shot. I'm not big on shots because I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic, so I stick myself every day. But I'm going to give you all your options, and then you decide what you want to do for all your different issues.
For new patients, Dr. Richmond, what's the turnaround time, or how long would it take typically for a new patient to get in to see you?
We're probably like 2 to 3 weeks out, but also depends on why you're coming in. Now, if you're a diabetic with an infected foot or something's infected, you got a hole in your foot, you got an ulcer, you need to explain that when you call, and we'll try to get you in sooner. Now, if you're calling me for some toenail fungus, you may not get in as quickly. But if it's something as emergent as something that's infected, you have a wound, something acute is going on, when they call in, they need to let us know, because lots of times different clinics will call us, and depending on what it is, we may be able to get you in the same day or the next day. And like I always tell patients, if you cannot get in and you know or you think something's infected, go on to an ER or urgent care. Don't wait, especially if you're diabetic. You need probably some kind of antibiotics on board so your infection doesn't get worse. But yeah, always call or text now. You can call or text us and put what is going on exactly with your foot, especially if you're diabetic. That's how the sentence should start. I'm diabetic. I have an open wound. It's draining. It smells. That's going to get you in quicker. Any kind of infection.
So that's good news for our listeners to know. So let's talk a little bit about your foot baths.
So we have a foot spa here. It's a diabetic friendly. You do not have to be a patient to do the foot spa. It's $25, so you're in a private room with one of the medical assistants. They scrub your feet with a pumice stone scrub, massage, lotion, massage chair, private room, music. Now, you can do that in conjunction with a visit with the doctor, with one of the doctors at my office. So they could see you first in the spa, and then me and one of the other doctors could come in and actually treat you. And that would be covered by your insurance, but the spa itself is cash. And a lot of patients schedule it in conjunction with their appointments.
And if it's someone that just wants a nice scrubbing, grooming,
they would just call the office and say, I want to schedule a spa.
Schedule a spa. And it's $25 cash.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, credit card.
Cash, credit card. I don't do Cash App or Venmo yet.
Okay. But those are the
yeah, now that I think about it, I might need to get Cash App.
So, Doc, we know that you are a sports fan. You are from Louisiana.
Yes.
And you love the
Saints.
Thank you for saying that for me. Tomorrow, championship games, and we've got 4 great teams that are playing tomorrow. The greatest team, unfortunately, didn't make the championship game by way of the Packers, but the 4 teams that are going, hats off to them. So tell us, who are you rooting for tomorrow?
Well, I gotta be the Bengals, of course, because Joe Burrow did go to LSU, so.
Is that your connection, or was the
yes.
fact that you
yes.
reside in Ohio?
Kinda, but more he went to LSU. But yeah, I have to I always support the local teams when they're not playing the Saints. When they're, as long as they're not playing the Saints in that game, I root for the Bengals. We'll be rooting for them, and hopefully they'll make it to the Super Bowl and win this time. That would be awesome for the city of Cincinnati and for the state of Ohio. I might I made myself, I have one Bengals sweatshirt. I might make myself a second one if they make it to the Super Bowl.
And we do wish, seriously, our Ohio team, the Bengals, all the best. Those that know me know it's tough for me to say that because I am a true Packers fan, but
yes.
I do support our local teams, Ohio State, Eagles, and we are very, very proud of them and wish them the best. And so you mentioned make myself a jersey, make myself a sweatshirt. So talk a little bit about the other side of what you do.
Well, I still have everything to make jerseys, sweatshirts, designs. I think if you actually Google me, some of the designs should be still up on my Google page. And some of them may still be up on my website as well. So we got the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, OSU, and then we still have a lot of the other designs that you can see on the website. If you wanted something, you would just need to call. We can still make designs. We still have the custom masks. We don't have as many as we used to because I haven't made a lot, but we still have some left. And we do provide masks in the office as well. They're not mandatory, but if you do want a mask, we do have some available for you. And some of the staff wears masks, some don't because it's not mandatory anymore by the CDC. I currently wear a mask because I have at least 30 to 40 chances a day to get sick. So I wear my mask, and I have all my bedazzled and cute mask, coordinating mask.
So you do T-shirts, sweatshirts, masks. Share with the listening audience some of the other items you do.
Okay, so in the office, we offer vascular studies. We offer ARP neurotherapy, which is a treatment for any kind of chronic pain, neuropathy, any of the tendinitises, any kind of pain. We offer that as well. We offer x-ray on site. On site, we do have orthotics, ankle braces, night splints. We have a boutique on site where you can get your diabetic socks, compression socks, toenail fungus polish, med pads, and all kinds of things like that. Now I am currently in the process of getting my life license, so I can now do life insurance policies and fixed annuities and help people who are having problems with their Medicare plans. And we make the shirts too. So if you have a specific style, if you look online at our website, it should have some of the styles. And if you also Google me, it should have some of the styles and pictures available. And then, of course, if you want to make an appointment, you can always call the office at 937-228-3668. You can now text that number. You can now contact us through Google. If you Google Richmond Foot and Ankle, you can now send messages now through the website. So you got 4 ways to get to me if you're trying to get into the office, because our phones ring nonstop in my office. So be patient, but now you can text us.
That is awesome, Dr. Richmond, and great information that you've shared. We know that our listeners can get in touch with you on several platforms and all your social media outlets. And so once again, we thank you for all you do in the community. Lots of great information that you continually share. We know next month for Footsteps for Life, we know that you will probably be with us somewhere around the 3rd.
Yeah.
Which will be around the 18th. So we'll see you around that time for your show next month, because we know after that you'll be heading
south to Mardi Gras.
All right. Thanks again for all you do, Dr. Richmond. We do appreciate you here at WDAO, and we look forward to speaking with you more and your final comments.
Take care of your feet. Just put a little lotion on them. Just rub it in gently. Don't put it between your toes. But if that don't work, give me a call at 937-228-3668 or text me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richmond. Have an awesome day today.
All right. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Richfeet Podcast with Dr. Tanisha Richmond. This podcast is sponsored by the Richmond Foot and Ankle Clinic, where they specialize in happy feet. Each episode highlights the best of Dr. Richmond's radio show, providing bite-sized clips of advice. Let's jump right into the show.